Right, here we go. Hello and welcome to another Vlogmas video. Now today is all about Christmas movies. I love Christmas movies. That's the best genre, really, aren't they? There are some great ones, amazing ones, mediocre ones, awful ones, truly awful ones. So awful that they're good. Like I'm talking like the good old Hallmark movies. Lauren and I have sat down and we watched a couple and they're just appalling. But before you know it, you sat there and watched it all and you think, what the hell did I just watch? What happened? I don't know. And who are all these like really bad actors? I think I'd be very good in a Hallmark movie. I don't think I'm a very good actor. I think I would fit in perfectly with them lot. Right, so I'm going to be telling you today about my top 10 favourite festive films. There are hundreds of Christmas films. So narrowing it down is pretty tough, but I think everybody's got like a general few that are all the same. I mean, looking at my list, I think there's a couple of surprises on there, but mainly I think everybody will have some of these on their lists. But I would definitely be interested to know what some of your favourite movies are, so please let me know down below. This isn't in any particular order, because sometimes I prefer one to the other. It just depends on what kind of mood I'm in. So let's start. So first up is Let It Snow, and that's currently on Netflix. Now this stars Mitchell Hope, Adaya Rush, Shamik Moore, loads of cool other young actors who I have no idea about. I think a few of them are singers, but I'm not cool enough to like listen to them or know who they are. I know Joan Cusack's in it as well. She's like some crazy snowplow lady who's awesome. This is such a fun film. So it's essentially 3 stories and they all like culminate into one big part at the end. I love that type of film. I think it's really cool when you get little snippets of each story, and it's so sweet, and it's all about best friends coming together, and it's really cool, and the music's great. There's some songs on there that aren't really Christmassy, but because of the situation that they're played in, they are on my Christmas playlist and they're wicked. It's really good fun and it's a great way to kill a couple of hours. And next on the list is This Christmas. I really enjoy This Christmas. It's kind of like a in-between rater. It's better than a Hallmark movie, but it's not as good as like your top cinema budget movies. It's right slap bang in the middle. It's not a straight to TV, it's probably a straight to DVD film, but it has got Idris Elba in it. Like that's definitely the A-list superstar that they've got in it. And they've also got Regina King in it and Lauren London as well. So they've got a few cooler actors in there. And it's basically just a family getting together for Christmas. They all come from over parts of the world. Like there's an affair involved. Idris Elba owes some money to these like low-key wannabe gangsters and they're chasing him about. It's a bit silly at times, but overall it's got a really good Christmas message, and it's got, and yet again, some great Christmas songs and just some general good music, which is really a big plus for me in films. Next up is one of the ultimate Christmas classics, which is A Muppet's Christmas Carol, which stars all of your classic Muppets like Kermit and Rizzo and Gonzo and Miss Piggy, all of them. They all make an appearance in that, and of course, Michael Caine as Ebenezer Scrooge. Now, I've said this a few times in the past, but I love the fact that Michael Caine said he's had the most fun on this movie, and I'm not surprised. And just when you watch it, it always shocks me at how many like Muppets are in there and just in the background, just kind of like doing nothing, just being part of the scenery and like the interaction with the humans. Just little touches like that. I really like it. And the soundtrack is one of the best original soundtracks in Christmas history. Some of their songs, Thankful Heart, Feels Like Christmas, One More Sleep Till Christmas, they're all just beautiful songs, and even Michael Caine's not got the best voice in the world, but he sings it with so much like love. It's really enjoyable. Like, thank you, Michael, for doing that. It's awesome, and I just don't think there will be a better version of A Christmas Carol for me. I think that will always stand the test of time. I'd like to think that in like 50, 60 years' time, people will still be devoted to that version of A Christmas Carol. It's just fantastic. Next up, a bit of a change of pace is The Night Before, which stars Seth Rogen, Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Anthony Mackie as 3 friends who come together for the last Christmas. Seth Rogen's parents not in real life, in the film, that his parents died when he was young, and then so his two friends vowed to spend Christmas Eve with him and to make sure he's not alone. And then as they're getting older now, and like Seth Rogen's starting a family, and Anthony Mackie's he's an American footballer in it, and his career's taking off, and they kind of want to spend one last Christmas Eve together, and they go out and they have a massive one like throughout the town of, I think it's in New York, and they just get up to some crazy antics. Michael Shannon's in it as well as like a drug dealer. It's really cool. There's a good few surprises in it. Miley Cyrus pops up at the end as well. Definitely not one to watch with the kids, but it's one of mine and Lauren's favourites. It's definitely one of the silliest films that I think Lauren will ever watch. She's not really a fan of silly movies, but she does enjoy it. Next up is a kids classic that will always hold a piece forever in my heart, mainly for how much me and my friend Adam quotes it, and that is of course Jingle All The Way with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Now his character is trying to find Turbo Man, and in time for Christmas Day. It's Christmas Eve. He hasn't got the toy that he should have got weeks ago, so he's got to go out and get it. And chaos ensues. Oh, there's a battle with all the Father Christmases, and wrestling's The Big Show is one of the Father Christmases, and it's just such fun. Good old Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's such a quotable film, and I think the kid in it is young Anakin from the first three, or from the first, second, and third Star Wars movies, I do believe. I've already watched it once this Christmas. I will definitely be watching it again, but it's just loud. And Phil Hartman as the next door neighbour is great, and it's like, those cookies. It's brilliant. Like, as I said, me and my mate, who we quote it all the time, Adam, it's great. Like, we've sent each other a few messages already over it, and we will no doubt send more. Next up is my first and only sequel in this list, and that's Home Alone 2: Lost in New York. Now, we all know the story of Home Alone and Kevin McAllister, and all the shenanigans go there, but part 2, it purely edges it for me because of Tim Curry being in this, being the hotel manager, and he is just hilarious. Like, Mr. McAllister is, and that's another one that is very much quotable between me and my friend Adam. You all know the story of Home Alone 2. That all the family travel and they get lost in the airport, and somehow, I mean, it was obviously never happened in real life, but that's the magic of this film. And he just winds up in New York, and he has a lovely / terrible time, and then Harry and Marv come back, and that house war that they have with them is epic, with the staple gun and the paints and the electricity. Oh man, that's some very good slaps. I've not watched it yet, so that's going to have to be on my list to watch. I think I like to watch that closer to the big day itself, because that's really Christmassy. And next on the list is my most recent up-to-date movie, and that's Little Women from 2019. Oh my god, what a great film this is. Even like take out the Christmassy aspect of it, it's such a great, lovely, warm, heartfelt movie. Saoirse Ronan, Timothée Chalamet, Emma Watson. This has got a fan. Laura Dern. It's got an amazing cast. I really, really enjoy this film. I've never seen like the 90s version of it with Winona Ryder. I think I should sit down and watch it one day, but I have been told that it's not as good as this version. So it's the story of 4 sisters, and it's just basically how they all go off, and they've all got different wants in their lives. Like Joe wants to be a writer, Amy wants to be like an artist, and poor old Beth, we all know what happens to Beth, don't we? I won't give it away too much, but I mean, I knew what happened to Beth before I even saw the film because of Joey from Friends. But yeah, it's a lovely film. If you haven't seen it yet, please make the effort to watch it this year, because it just gives you, it's such a lovely, warm film. It's brilliant. And next up on the list is National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Now, this is a bit of a Christmas classic in my family household. One of the reasons, I think, have I already said this? I don't know, but I'm going to tell you again anyway. So when I used to live with my parents, my dad would always get up early on Christmas morning, and he would like prep all the veg, like peel all the potatoes, chop all the carrots, and sort all the Brussels and everything. And I would get up with him, and we would sit, and I mean, sometimes I'd help, sometimes I wouldn't. And we would sit there and we would watch National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation together. It's a silly film. It stars Chevy Chase as Clark Griswold, and Clark wants all of the family to come to their house for Christmas. They've got a lovely, beautiful house, and lots of things happen. Poor old Clark, he doesn't have much luck in the world, and he has trouble with his Christmas lights. He gets in a sledging incident. There's a bit of kidnapping involved. It's all good fun. It's all good fun. It's not. I will say it's not. You don't get the most Christmassy vibe from it at all times. But it is good fun. It's definitely a Christmas classic to behold. And the penultimate film on the list is Elf. Now, this kicked off Will Ferrell's career, and rightly so. It's also, oh my God, I think it's like 2003, like 17 years old now. That is crazy. It still feels pretty new nowadays, but it's the classic story of Buddy coming to New York to find his real dad after been living in North Pole all his life, and he's getting adjusted to the way our world works, and it's just brilliant. It's so heartwarming and lovely, and this is super Christmassy. And Zooey Deschanel's in it as well, and it's hard to believe that she's Jess from New Girl, because their characters are so different from each other. Like the one in Elf, she's a bit reserved and very shy, and she's not particularly that friendly to begin with. But in New Girl, she's the complete polar opposite. She's lovely and over friendly, and like almost on the case of being annoying, but in a great way, and I'm so happy that happened as well for her. Just a little side note there. But yes, like Elf, everybody's seen Elf, everybody loves Elf. And the final film in the list is Nativity, starring Martin Freeman, Ashley Jensen, Pam Ferris and Mark Wootton as the legendary character Mr. Poppy. Everyone loves Mr. Poppy. This is such a great British Christmas movie. Martin Freeman's character, Mr. Maddens, he makes a promise to all the kids and the town that Hollywood is coming to film their nativity, and it just escalates from there. And Mr. Poppy, who's eccentric to say the least, just goes a bit overboard with it, and everybody gets involved, and there's some great songs in it. It actually got turned into a live show, which we went to see, which was very good. I wouldn't say it was as good as the Christmas movie itself, but all in all, you should definitely make the effort to watch Nativity if you've not seen it. So yes, there we go. They are my top 10 Christmas movies this year. Who knows? Might change by next year. But as I said at the start of the video, please let me know down below what your favourite Christmas movies are. And also, I've got a Christmas movie quiz coming up very soon. So maybe a few of these might have just given you a little bit of a tip of what might be in some of the questions. There you go, just a little bit of a Christmas gift for you there. So thanks again everybody for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye bye.